Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here on The Boys Season 4. So I'm going to start covering The Boys now. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos just on like certain storylines, just certain things to expect, some predictions and stuff like that for Season 4. Since that show is going to be premiering in just under a month now, or basically a month away. Honestly, there's a lot of shows coming out in like the next month. Like honestly, over the next couple of months here, there's quite a bit. We have The Boys, there's also House of the Dragon, Rings of Power Season 2, Daryl Dixon Season 2 at some point, right? So there's going to be a lot to cover over the next couple of months, so definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my content. The Boys actually got renewed for Season 5, which I was actually very surprised by. I wasn't expecting that. I know sometimes they do renew these shows before the show actually airs, and a lot of it is just, that's dependent on the studio having a lot of faith, just with where the story's going and how the show is doing. So obviously that's very good because Prime Video, they obviously, they saw what The Boys Season 4 was. They're confident, I'm guessing, with all of the, build up going into Season 4 here, that Season 5 will also do very well. I don't think we're going to have to wait that long for Season 5. I know that Season 4, was delayed a lot because of all the strikes and stuff last year. So, I think that we're at the point now where a lot of these shows are going to start coming out like crazy right now. And it's because, again, the strike was happening last year. So there was like a big delay for quite a while. But this summer seems to be the summer where things are starting to get going now. Like we have Deadpool versus Wolverine, a lot of stuff coming out. So yeah, I do want to start this here with, first of all, amazing news, renewed for Season 5. I'm so excited. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is actually going to be finally appearing in the show. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. They've actually been talking about this for, I feel like, a few years now. I know after Season 2, there was some debate about whether or not Jeffrey Dean Morgan was actually going to be in The Boys. And I know I was excited for Season 3 because maybe, it could happen. But I know that in terms of filming back then, I think the showrunners were saying, or maybe it was the writers, I'm not entirely sure. But I know that they were saying that the scheduling didn't work out for Season 3 because of Jeffrey Dean Morgan filming The Walking Dead, like the final season at that point. Then I know there was Dead City. There was some show going on at the time there. So yeah, just definitely the scheduling just didn't work there, but he's finally going to be in this show, and it looks like he's actually going to play a pretty big role here. He's going to be in a lot of episodes, and he's playing the comic character known as Joe Kessler. We do see him in the trailer here, and it was actually confirmed already that he's playing the character known as Joe Kessler. There's a really insane story there from the comic, and I don't know how much they're going to adapt that story here. I think they probably could a lot, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this show definitely does push the boundaries like that a lot, right? So I could see it possibly happening, but I really don't know. And really what you need to know with this character anyways is that he's, he works for the CIA, and it seems like in the show he's pretty much going to have that same exact role there, and he wants to work, and he's probably going to be working with Butcher, right, against the Supes and stuff, right? And it looks like the big storyline here for Season 4 seems to be them coming up with some sort of virus that will actually kill them, like take down Homelander and everyone else, right? Because you see that in the trailer, you see like animals getting powers and stuff like that, and they're doing a bunch of like animal testing and stuff. And so yeah, it looks like Butcher and the boys are going to be doing some testing and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm curious on just more of the specifics in terms of this virus, because I've been doing some research and maybe I'm missing some stuff. If you guys know, definitely let me know in the comment section below. But I'm very curious on this whole thing. I don't know if they introduced some of this idea in the spinoff Gen V, because I never actually checked that out. I watched the first episode and I really loved it, but I never actually got around to finishing that whole entire show. So if they did actually explain some of it there, then I'll probably have to go back and rewatch that. But yeah, I'm very interested in some of this here, because it feels like this is something new here, and it's actually going to be a big part of the season here, I feel like. And yeah, I mean, obviously you do see some of the animals actually having powers and stuff. So yeah, really interesting scene here. But this season seems like it's going to be a very like political season. It does feel like that's sort of the direction that they're going in. I mean, the show has always sort of, pushed the boundaries with that. Like they'll get into certain things, but with this season here, it seems like they're doing exactly that, though. Like we do see basically it's Starlight versus Homelander, right? And that's probably going to be really the focus here. There is the whole election and everything happening, but I am very curious with what Homelander said. I think that's a big part to this season here, where it's going to make a lot of the election stuff, I think, really interesting, to be honest, because of the fact that Homelander in the trailer says that we have to become wrathful gods, basically, right? So he wants the Seven and, all Supes to basically, I mean, I guess maybe not all Supes, but mostly the 7 to become like wrathful gods. And he says something like, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like, we got to do like terrible things and this and that. And so I do think that he's going to be doing certain things that are probably going to hurt his image and stuff. And so I wonder how that's going to play a role into the story. But again, they kind of played around, I feel like, with that storyline. I think it was in season 2 or 3, maybe it was in season 3. Like they did play around with that a bit where he was doing certain things that, people would eventually start to turn on him a little bit here. And I don't think they're going to play around with that story too much here or do the same thing again. Maybe there's an aspect to it, but I just feel like, there's going to be some stuff that he does where I think he might actually get control over a lot of people here. And I just wonder if this season could have a darker ending with Homelander sort of winning and, they just sort of change the tone here a little bit with the show, because I feel like you kind of have to a little bit here, especially if Homelander is starting to say that, we can't focus on being liked and stuff so much. Because, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but like that's been Homelander's whole thing for like ever now, right? Is like he's always wanted to be loved by everybody, right? And that was like a big focus for Vought. It was like, trying to understand how well liked he was among like his fans and all of that, and how they have to change certain things. And it seemed like it did affect him sometimes, and sometimes he would get sort of numb to it. And he's just sort of been through a lot over the last couple of seasons, where I think he just got to the point now where he's like, you know what? And we kind of saw that last season where I think he kind of realized like he doesn't need Vought or he doesn't need anyone. Like he could actually just become the wrathful god now, right? And obviously it's season 4, so it's about time to start to get into that sort of a story now, right? But yeah, you see a lot of fighting in the trailer, and the 7 definitely aren't just sitting back anymore. They're more united now. I guess they're enemies, because before they were just sort of, fighting each other, and it was just kind of a mess. I do like this one shot right here. We see the Deep, and he's actually holding a baseball bat. The reason why I like this is just because Jeffrey Dean Morgan is actually in this show, and obviously he plays Negan, right, from The Walking Dead, and he has a bat named Lucille, which is basically the same exact bat. Close anyways, and yeah, I think it's just kind of I wonder if it's a nod to that character. It's kind of cool anyways. I will say, in terms of Butcher's storyline right now, I am very interested in, just where they're going to go there with that, because obviously we found out at the end of last season that, he was going to be dying soon, basically, has 18 months left. And we see like this worm thing or whatever in his head, and I don't know if that's related to that. Just with this storyline in general, I'm very curious on where they go with that, because like obviously the show just got renewed for season 5. They're not going to be killing off Butcher, I don't think, this season, and then in season 5, just not have him around, right? Like, I don't want to say he has plot armor at this point here, but definitely Butcher as a character is very well loved. I think out of most of the characters on the show, he's the one character. It's like him and Homelander, I feel like you can't really kill them off yet. Like, they're definitely final season character deaths, if they're going to kill them off, right? So I don't know where they're going with this, but I feel like he is most likely going to survive. Now, I will say, like, I know it makes sense in the show and all that. I get sort of why it's not happening, but like you see a shot like this with Homelander and Butcher in the same room. They both want to kill each other. I don't know why they never do. I know the writing just sort of, it makes sense. Like they write themselves out of a situation like this, but yeah, I don't know. Just a thought that I had there. But this shot right here of Homelander I found very interesting, because it looks like he's just going absolutely insane. And there's like scientists in the background stuff. So I'm just like, what's going on here? This could be related to some of the stuff happening with the virus. Again, I think that's where Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character is going to be, coming into play here, is that I think they're going to develop a virus that could actually get rid of the Supes, right? And so maybe that's what this is related to. Maybe Homelander at some point gets the virus and he's concerned that he's going to die, or that he's going to lose his powers and all of that. And maybe that's why the scientists are here. They're sort of doing some experiments and all that. Maybe they get word of what they're trying to do, and they're trying to, come up with some sort of solution to that, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but to me, when I see a scene like this, it just kind of makes me think that Homelander is just going absolutely insane, because maybe he's actually concerned. He's actually worried that he could be losing his powers, which I feel like out of all the characters, the virus is probably not going to work on him. But that's sort of the storyline that we have right now. They're not really giving us much right now. It just seems to be like Butcher versus Homelander, and, they're getting into some more stuff here where Butcher is going to try and actually come up with some sort of virus. I'm guessing he's working with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, which is basically he's working with the CIA, and they're trying to come up with stuff that can actually get rid of the Supes. Homelander seems to have a lot of these plans where, it's not necessarily, because the election here is the big thing happening in this season, right? And I just think that there's a lot more to it. And I think Homelander is, I don't know, I feel like this season's going to end on a very dark note. That's just sort of how I'm feeling about it. But yeah, anyways, definitely post your thoughts down below on what you think is going to happen in season 4. I will be doing more specific videos on The Boys season 4. This was more of a general breakdown of everything here, but I will do some more specific, just like topic videos talking about certain storylines and where I think this could go, certain character deaths that we could get in this season here. And yeah, The Boys is returning June 13th. 3 days later, House of the Dragon, and then, yeah, it's gonna be, honestly, this summer's gonna be nuts. So, yeah, definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.